Somewhere along the way, you stopped feeling alive. Not physically. You still wake up. You still go to work. You still answer messages. You still smile sometimes. But inside, something feels missing. And the strange part is, your life might not even look bad. You may have food, a phone, people around you, entertainment, dreams, plans. Yet deep down, there's this quiet emptiness following you everywhere. You feel tired for no reason. Nothing excites you like it used to. Your motivation disappears faster than it comes. Even moments that should feel meaningful somehow feel numb. And most people never talk about this, because on the outside they look normal. But really, they are spiritually exhausted. The world calls it burnout, overthinking, depression, lack of discipline. But what if the real problem goes deeper than that? What if your soul has been disconnected for so long that your spirit is starving while your body keeps moving? Because the truth is, humans were never designed to survive only on distraction. And that's exactly what modern life feeds us. Noise, scrolling, comparison, short dopamine hits, temporary pleasure. But none of it lasts. So before we talk about where it comes from, let me tell you what actually fills it, because you deserve to hear the answer before the explanation. What actually works is not religion for religion's sake, not performance, not a list of rules to follow. What works is contact. Real, honest, unfiltered contact with your own inner life. And through that, contact with something sacred. Here are 3 specific things that begin to fill the emptiness. Not instantly, but genuinely. First is stillness. Not meditation as a trend. Not 5 minutes between meetings. Real stillness. The kind where you sit with yourself and you don't run from what comes up. You let the feeling be there without trying to fix it or explain it away. Because here's what happens in real stillness. The surface noise falls away. And in the quiet underneath, something speaks. Call it God. Call it your soul. Call it your truest self. It doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is that you stop drowning it out. Second is honesty. Radical, uncomfortable honesty about what you actually want. Not what you're supposed to want. Not what would make everyone proud of you. What does your soul want? Most people have never asked that question with real sincerity. And the soul responds to sincerity. It responds to being finally seen, even if you're the only one looking. Third is surrender. This is the hard one, but it's the most powerful. Somewhere, you are gripping something. A plan, an identity, a wound you've turned into your story, a version of yourself you're desperately trying to maintain. And surrender, real spiritual surrender, is the willingness to say, I don't have to hold all of this. I don't have to figure it all out. I can let something bigger than me carry what I was never meant to carry alone. That's not weakness. That is one of the bravest things a human being can do. Now, you might be wondering, why do those 3 things work when everything else doesn't? To understand that, we need to talk about what most of us try first. We are incredibly creative when it comes to trying to fill that void. Some people fill it with achievement. If I just get the promotion, if I just reach the goal, if I just build something impressive enough, then I'll feel whole. But you probably already know someone who reached the top of the ladder and still felt empty. Maybe that someone is you. Some people fill it with relationships. They pour themselves into another person completely. They outsource their wholeness. They need someone else to make them feel real. And it works for a little while, until it doesn't. Some people fill it with noise, constant stimulation, podcasts in the shower, TV at dinner, scrolling before sleep. Because the moment it gets quiet, they can feel the emptiness, and that terrifies them. And some people fill it with spirituality that's actually just more performance. They go to church, they do the rituals, they say the right words, but nothing changes inside because it's all still happening on the surface. Here's what all of these strategies have in common. They work like a Band-Aid on a wound that needs surgery. They manage the symptom. They don't touch the source. And the reason they can't touch the source is because they are all pointing outward, when the real answer is found by going inward. Which brings us to the question that changes everything. There's an ancient idea that shows up in almost every spiritual tradition on earth. Not just Christianity, not just one religion, almost all of them. It's this. Human beings have an inner life, a soul, a spirit, a center that is meant to be in connection with something bigger than the self. And when that connection is missing or blocked, not because God abandoned you, but because you've been looking everywhere else, you feel it as emptiness. The mystics called it the God-shaped hole, but I want to say it without the religious framing, because this is real, whether you believe in God or not. You are not built to live only on the surface of life. You are built for depth, for meaning, for something that transcends the daily grind. And when you spend years, or decades, living entirely in your head, in your to-do list, in other people's opinions of you, in the hustle, the deepest part of you goes untouched, and untouched things starve. That's the emptiness, not a void, a hunger. And a hunger means there's something real that can satisfy it. Now that you understand what the emptiness actually is and what actually fills it, let me show you how to recognize it in your own life, because I want you to hear yourself in this. Let me describe someone. Tell me if this sounds familiar. They wake up in the morning, and for the first 3 seconds, everything is fine. Then it hits. That low-grade weight. Not sadness exactly, not depression exactly, just flatness. Like the color got turned down on everything. They go through the day, doing what they're supposed to do. They laugh at the right moments. They show up. They perform okay. But at night, alone, they feel it again. That hollowness. And the confusing part is, life is not bad. So why does it feel like something is missing? Now you know why. It's not a flaw in them. It's not ingratitude. It's not a disorder. It's the deepest part of them, the truest part, that hasn't been touched in a very long time, maybe ever. They've been living on the surface, responding to demands, meeting expectations, being who everyone needs them to be, and the real them, the soul of them, has been quietly starving. That hunger is the emptiness. And here's what I want you to sit with. That person I just described, they're not broken. They're not failing at life. They are one honest moment of stillness away from something shifting. One decision to stop running. One moment of surrender. That's how close it is. So let me come back to where we started. You have a life that looks fine, maybe even good, but there's that quiet ache underneath. Now you know what it is. It's not a flaw in you. It's a call from you, from the deepest, truest part of you. The part that hasn't given up on the life you were actually meant to live. The emptiness is not your enemy. It's the most honest thing about you. And the moment you stop trying to silence it, escape it, or fill it with things that can't actually reach it, and instead you turn toward it with stillness, with honesty, with the willingness to surrender, that's when something shifts. That's when the real life begins. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needed to hear it today. You probably know exactly who that person is. And if you want to go deeper into this kind of spiritual wisdom, the kind that meets you in real life, not just on Sunday morning, make sure you're subscribed, because this is what we do here. I'll see you in the next one.